The law of reality is a very important subject to be understood. When I was growing up as a child, when I was in the school, the teachers taught me the law of gravity, how it works, right? And when I was in university, the professor taught me that how sound works, what's the law of sound, right? Sound travels according to its own laws, and how light travels, right? Light travels according to its own laws. But no one taught me that what is law of reality, how it works, right? And while growing up, I got a opportunity to read little bit about Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and then I actually understand the concept of law of reality, how it works. The law of reality is everywhere, right? And the first question that is coming in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is by Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Japji Sahib. The question is, Kiv sachiara hoiye, kiv kooda tutte pal. Means how can the mortal become true? And in the next verse, Guru Nanak Dev Ji is answering to it by saying, Hukam rajai chalana nanak likhya naal. Means if you understand Hukam, you'll not having any suffering, any psychological suffering, right? The person who understand Hukam, he crosses the ocean of suffering. I'm using the word ocean because the suffering is too big, like ocean. So in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the word hukam is in Gurmukhi, right? But if we try to translate this word into English, then the word that is coming is command. Hukam is hukam can be translated as command. But command is a word that we don't want to accept it because some command is something like there is a someone who is more powerful than us, who is commanding us to do this, to do that, right? Who is sitting somewhere and commanding us, right? And in this way we don't want to accept this word, right? Like a king commanding over the universe, right? We don't want it like this. Then we feel it like we are a slave, right? So the better word, the bet for a better understanding for people, we have translated the word command as a reality, right? Reality is for fine for everyone, yes. So whatever is happening is called reality. So whatever is happening is a hukam. Whatever is happening is a truth, right? This is the universal law of reality, right? And then people asks, if this is the law of reality happening everywhere, should we accept all the terrible things that are happening around us, like wars, mass shooting, terrorism, child abuse, natural disasters, right? A natural disaster like the one happened in Syria and Turkey, right? Should we accept it as a reality? Should we accept all of these things as reality? Again, if we read Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they are answering to it also. And they are saying, हुक्म अंदर सबको बाहर हुक्म ना कोई. Means everything is in reality, everything is in hukam. The word hukam, reality and truth is the same, right? So whatever is happening we have to accept it as a hukam, as a reality. So this is the law of reality, right? So the next question that is coming, do we have to suffer because of reality? Do we have to suffer because of hukam? Let me try to give you a simple example for a better understanding. The example of a fish and a river. There was a fish in the river who has a desire to swim in this direction But the river is always flow in this direction. The fish want to swim opposite direction of the flow of the river. And the fish has two choices. One is the fish can go with the flow of the river, right? And the second is the stubborn fish is saying, no, I'll not go with the flow of the river, but I'll go in the opposite direction of the flow of the river. And she starts swimming in the opposite direction. But what happened is the fish is struggling. The fish is in suffer. The fish is in pain. You know why? Because she's going opposite to the current, right? Opposite of the direction of the flow of the river. And that's because the fish is suffering, right? Do the river is suffering because of a fish? The river never suffer. Only the fish is suffering, right? What does a fish has to do in order to stop suffering? She has to just stop it and go with the flow of the river, right? Is that river against the fish? The river is not against the fish, right? Only the fish is against the river. And this is the story of every human being. We are, as far as we resist life, the life will not suffer. Only we will suffer. The life is not against us. Like the river is not against the fish. But what fish does, she has a desire to do something which is opposite the river. And this is what we do in life. We do something, we have that kind of desire in life which are against life. And then we suffer, right? And then even the fish is going with the flow of the river. The fish don't let that thought out of his mind. The fish is still thinking that what look what the river had done the river has done to me. The river is not listening to me, right? The fish is thinking like this. And if the fishes keep on thinking like in this way, the life of the fish will be miserable. The suffering can be described as the difference between mind and the reality is suffering, right? We physically live in reality, but our mind is constantly thinking about past and the future, right? And if you start living when we start living in line with reality, then where is the suffering? Then we don't have to suffer, right? But our mind is living in a fantasy world. The mind is thinking that reality is not good enough for you. You have to do something else. You have to do something more about it, right? And it gets more interesting when from people the more personal, deeply emotional, psychological issues are coming. Like, if whatever is happening is a reality, should we have to accept all of these things, right? And then people having a questions, should I accept if my partner is cheating on me, right? Should I accept also if my partner doesn't support me, right? Should I accept also if my in-laws doesn't treat me in a good manner, right? Doesn't behave me good, right? What if my boss doesn't respect me at work, right? What if I'm not able to find satisfaction in life, right? Should I also accept it? What if I'm suffering from the physical pain? What if my body is in a physical pain? My body is having a continuous health problems. Should I also accept it as a hukam? Should I also accept it as a reality? Right? These are the concerns that people having, right? What if somebody committed suicide in my family? Should I accept it as a reality also? I want to ask you that which school, college, or the university is there, is set up to answer these questions. These are more personal, deeply emotional, psychological issues, right? The Gurbani doesn't make us passive. I'm not just talking about the Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but all the other scriptures, those who are talking about soul, don't make us passive, right? And sit back and do nothing about the situation, right? It's not like this. If there is a appropriate to take action, you must take action, right? If there is a situation you can change something about it, you must change it, right? You can change your reality, but first understand what your current reality is. If there is an appropriate to take action about something, about the situation, you must take action. This is what the scriptures, this is what Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is talking about. So let me just try to give you a very beautiful example that is coming from Mahabharata, the epic Mahabharata. When you read Gita, the chapter Mahabharata is coming, where Arjuna is having a conversation with Lord Krishna, and Arjuna is saying that there is a my family is standing over there to fight against me, and I am standing in the edge of the battlefield, and the battle is going to start, right? And Arjuna is saying to Krishna that how do I fight them? There is a my family is standing over there. It's my guru, is my brother, right? And Krishna's response to Arjuna was, the universe has created a circumstances where you are standing in this side of the battlefield and your family is standing over there against you in the battlefield. They are going to fulfill their destiny and you must fulfill your destiny. This is what your hukam is. This is what your reality is. You must fulfill it. So this is the universal law of reality which we have to accept it, right? And let me just try to sum up all of this, right, into 4 to 5 simple points, right? Number one is, what is reality? Reality is everywhere. Whatever is happening right now is reality, and we have to accept it. Nobody can escape from it. Like in Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is written, everything is in reality. हुक्म है अंदर सबको, बाहर हुक्म ना कोई, नानक हुक्म है जय बुझे, ता हो में कहे ना कोई, right? And the second thing we need to understand is, the reality doesn't respond to anyone. Like, you know, the river doesn't respond to fish. Even the fish is shouting on river that why you have done this to me, why you have done that to me. Like we shout on life that life is doing this to me, life is doing that to me. The life is not gonna respond to us, right? The reality doesn't respond to anyone. This is we need to understand, right? And the third thing that we need to understand is, we can change reality. First of all, we have to accept what reality is. We have to see things as it is they are, right? If we try to look our problems from the perspective of the universe, then our problems are too small, right? And the fourth thing that we need to understand is that whatever is happening, right, we have to accept it. And if you can change it, right? If there is appropriate to take actions, you must change your situations, right? You must change your circumstances, right? And the scriptures doesn't make us passive. The scripture doesn't say sit back, do nothing about your situations, right? Wish all very best of luck to you. Thank you so much.